Well, there wasn't a lot of selling coming up because it was time for Moxley's clown car to pull up and come to the ring through. They showed him before the break coming out of a room in the arena and then showed him walking into the arena on the other side of the break. But they just can't be brought to associate with the riffraff over there in the locker room.
They've now established he has a locker room of his own. He still chooses to walk through the arena.
And okay, here comes Moxley, and he's trying to do something with that decrepit physical appearance of his. And Claudio's a fucking giant. And old Pac, well, he's just ripped and shredded. And Marina Schaefer, she's the toughest one of the bunch. And then here comes Yuta. He looks like, this fucking street gang brought their weed dealer with them. Well, look at it. What? It's like, at least here's this guy. Look, okay, he can kick somebody's ass. And that guy's fucking huge. And that guy's jacked up. And look, she's a badass from the jiu-jitsu world. And there's...
Yeah, we told Ronnie he can come along for the ride.
Yeah, Ronnie, did you bring the stuff? Maybe it's Weeder Yuta. But then again...
Weed dealer Yuta.
Here we go. Even if this whole deal already wasn't confusing and the whole 9 yards with it, what in the fuck is Moxley talking about in his audition reel for the indie movies, the whole 9 yards? How can anybody take him seriously as the world champion or as a badass if he's either wrestling or talking about the biggest joke wrestler on a roster of jokey wrestlers? Think about it. Here's their world champion, and he's beating everybody up on the fucking roster, and he's got this whole group with him, and he's cutting a promo about Orange fucking Cassidy. And then, after he does the promo where he's ranting and raving in the circles that he talks in about our little puppy Pockets, you didn't challenge me, I challenged you, which I think he did last week. But then suddenly they grab Wheeler, their boy Wheeler, and they jerk him down and they put a chair around his neck and they're going to fucking break his neck. But then Pockets slides in and tackles Moxley and they all jump him and they let Wheeler go and he gets up and starts kicking Pockets.
Why did Pockets come to save Yuta?
Because
why was that the moment that would have triggered him for them to beat up one of their own?
They all used to be friends, and they just know that maybe one of these days one of their friends will see the light, and I don't fucking know. And then here comes the Dork Order in, and the heels no-sold him and just beat him up. And that's where I mentioned that Reynolds guy with his ribs taped up looked like a girl in a tube top. And they got Pockets down and they were about to break his neck. When here comes Darby from the ceiling, I'm not ribbing. And he drops dead, but at least the fans woke up there because until this point it was like, oh, fucking come on. But when they see Darby, okay, somebody's finally over. And boom. And they start cheering, but now he's hooked to the thing. And even Shivani references, well, so-and-so has to come over to help Darby get disconnected. I'm like, what the fuck? And then here comes Darby's beating up Claudio, and some more job guys come out. There's Garcia, there's Private Party. And everybody goes over the rail and fights into the arena, except Private Party stays in the ring. And then the Buckaroos music starts playing because they're scheduled to face Private Party, so they're coming into the arena down the entranceway while these other guys have gotten up in the stands, and you just see them just kind of put their arm on each other's shoulders and just walk out instead of continuing to fight. And And now they're ready for the World Tag Title match. Brian, your thoughts?
Is there a difference between they fought off and they fought out?
No, they fought out and fought off would technically mean the same thing, but the word fight is too strenuous a word for what they were doing here. They fought.
I mean, there's so much to say about this. The stomps from Wheeler Yuta when he was heel again, after Orange Cassidy foolishly ran in there, however many people on one, to save Wheeler Yuta. That was something. Maybe I'm alone on this, but I don't care how safe it is. If your company has a partnership with Dr. Martha Hart, I'm not doing anyone dropping from the ceiling. And you know, one of the reasons it worked so well for Sting in the loosey-goosey 90s was because he was able to unhook himself and get to the action. Maybe he shouldn't have. Maybe it should have been a technician to help him with that. And if that's what Darby has to do, then he shouldn't be dropping from the ceiling if he needs to be in a brawl.
Exactly.
And then the whole Moxley thing, nothing is explained. Still, nothing's explained. They're with Moxley, his gang, because he built AEW with his own hands. And he doesn't like what it's become while he's been there the entire time. And if you think this is bad now, wait until the Bucks return with Kenny to be the heroes to stop Moxley.
Oh, well, but now, wait a minute. They must have scratched that because according to what I just saw just coming up here shortly in this program, they're going in the opposite direction.